Hi, you guys. Oh, wow. People are already popping on. I love it. Just going to wait a couple more minutes before we get started. What a day. Wednesday. What day of quarantine is this for you guys? I should say self-isolation or stay at home. Quarantine sounds crazy. Oh, yay. I love seeing all my family on here. Amy Weinblum, Rebecca, Arielle, Nikki. Beautiful people. Koren. Yay. Love all my friends. I miss you guys. Just want to hug you. Giving lots of hugs. Okay. All right. I think we can get started now. Hi, Camilla. 9 days, Koren, you've been in. This is my 12th day. So I'm here. I'm still in my PJs, but ready for you. This is Dom. Yay, I'm so happy you're here. Okay. Let's get started. So I'm so excited that you guys wanted to come on today to talk about what Kinergy is all about. And obviously that really came from this last week and doing the live stream, and you guys got to experience a little taster of it. And hearing your responses were just so magnificent and amazing. And I forget sometimes that because I have been in the thick of it for the last 2 years creating Kinergy, I didn't really give a full explanation of what Kinergy is, and we've kind of been just bringing it out to the world little by little. But I feel like, especially during this time, this is really why Kinergy was created, was to help people connect during times like this when they feel super disconnected from people, from the world. And this is giving us an opportunity to really go inward and connect to ourselves. Literally, I would say raise your hand. I can't see you, but raise your hand if you feel like even just in these last few days of being home, a lot of emotion has come up, and almost like a tea kettle. It's like it's starting to boil, and then like in the past it has started to boil, but we just move it off of the burner and we go and do something else and we distract ourselves. And unfortunately / I believe fortunately, we're in this position now where we can't take it off of the burner. We actually have to be in it and deal with it. So I'm sure a lot of emotions, positive, some really trying emotions have probably come up for you, and definitely for me on my end too. So you are not alone. Yes, I see a lot of people raising their hands. And this comes from, it could be family. It could go back culturally, how you were raised, and it could be relationships. It could be a lot of different things, how you feel during work, how you feel when you're alone by yourself. So this is actually, I believe, such a beautiful time of self-reflection and actually getting those feelings up to the surface and not burying them down again. So with all of this said, this is what Kinergy is about. It's about really going inward. It's about connecting to self first. So let's start there. Let's just start with, what is Kinergy? So the elevator pitch is that it is a 45-minute class. It's a method that helps people connect to themselves through movement, breath, and visualization. And when they can connect to themselves, then they can relate to the people around them and have these conversations and be able to see and observe the situation without getting lost in it, because you already feel connected to yourself, that you're not afraid of losing yourself when you start to relate to someone else. Or you also just don't have separation or division or blame or tension with the other person, because you can actually stay within yourself and see and relate to the people around you. And then, of course, when that can happen, we can experience the world in its most true and pure form, which I believe is love. And so that is the mission of Kinergy, is really just to have that 3-part: connect to self, relate to others, experience the world. And how we do that is through the method. And the method is movement, breath, and visualization. So when you break it down, it really is just a philosophy. And yes, we do it through the elements, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. We do it through the elements, but really you could do this through anything. You could do this as a cycling class. You could do this in a bar class. You could do this weight training. You could do this while you cook dinner. When you just really have the philosophy of connecting to self, connecting to breath, movement, and visualization, that really connects you to your optimal power that's within you already. So I'm going to answer a few questions from you guys first, and then I want to go into my transformation of how I came up with this and why I felt the need for me to experience this, and learn more, and then how the method came about. But first, I want to, again, take some of your questions. So you guys text me, and I printed some of the questions out so that I could be very focused. So here we go. So this is from Jackie W. from Johnson City in Tennessee. So I'm currently looking at how dance, breathing, and movement plays a role in decreasing pain. I'm almost a physical therapist. 1 year left, whoop, whoop, go you, of school and boards until one of my dreams is complete. So I was wondering how Kinergy incorporates all those things, and what are some techniques that you have found are beneficial for breathing while moving? What effects does Kinergy have on the body, and how did you develop Kinergy? So those are a few questions. So first and foremost, I'll answer the dancing, the breathing, and the movement. So when you combine that trifecta creates almost like, you've heard flow. When people get into flow, and flow is that like optimal place where you feel like you can manifest, you have abundance, you have clarity, you're vibrant and expansive, but you're also grounded at the same time. So we want to find that flow or that Kinergy state as much as we can throughout our life, so that we can be making decisions from that place and relating to people and having conversations from that place. So when you put breath, movement, and visualization together, it's like a freaking power source where you get to get there, not necessarily quicker, you do get there quicker, but it's like a trifecta that actually powers even more than just doing one. So that's where Kinergy, like for the last 2 years, I've been developing and going to different classes, learning about different modalities and how to bring them together so that we can optimize our time, our energy, and really be able to get there in the most effective and efficient way. So with the pain question that you were asking, so there's physical pain, and that might be from something like a car accident or something that's actually physical that needs to be healed. And then there's also physical pain that comes from emotions and stuck energy. And so one of the greatest things about moving, breathing, and visualizing is you connect to that true self within you, and you're able to transform that energy and allow it to release yourself. So probably a lot of you guys, when you did the live class on Friday, were experiencing a lot of emotion, and you were like, I don't even know why I'm crying. There's no reason that I should be crying. I don't know why I'm crying. There was no meaning to it. That's perfect. You don't have to know why you're emotional. You just want to get it out. You just want to allow that stuck energy and that stuck emotion to just be released and feel that liberation. So hopefully you guys just allowed that to happen and then felt lighter. within your body. Maybe there was some stress up in your shoulders, or maybe some anxiety in your chest, and that was released a little bit. So just know that that is absolutely normal. And when you're feeling pain, by the way, I'm going to go on so many tangents, so just bear with me. I appreciate you staying on. But one of the things also that is super, super helpful is sound. So one of my mentors, Dr. John Amaral, he has really helped me make sound in a way that has felt very uncomfortable, or like, this feels weird, I shouldn't make this kind of sound. But the sound actually helps liberate that energy as well. So like the breathing, when that happens, the more sound you can use, or if you're feeling pain in your shoulder and you're visualizing like, where is that pain in my shoulder? And I'm breathing into it, and then I'm like, oh, what is that sound? Is it like a high-pitched frequency? Or is it like a kind of frequency? And you kind of match what that sensation feels like in your body, and it's able to like untangle and release itself. So when we think about that, that is some of the pain that movement, breath, visualization, and sound can really help you with. And again, this is part of Kinergy. This is part of the philosophy. We have a 45-minute class. We have a 15-minute one that's really kind of just introducing people to their bodies again. But it's a whole philosophy and curriculum that we're going to be giving to people in more of a transformational programming kind of way to help people connect back to their truest self. So that's one question. Let's go here. Leanna K from Omaha, Nebraska. I'm a teacher going through these crazy times of distant learning with my students. How would Kinergy be beneficial for coping with this huge adjustment? Again, I mean, I think with this time, if you have the luxury and are fortunate enough to take the time that we usually don't take for ourselves to connect to ourselves, to connect to our body, connect to our breath, and surrender our mind to this beautiful visualization, then I would take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes if you have it to connect to yourself, and that relieves stress. It relieves anxiety and uncertainty. It connects you to the truth of yourself, which at the end of the day, you already know you're going to be okay. And that uncertainty and that fear is driven by something that is not the truth, not you. And so when you can actually connect to you, you'll be able to know the truth, which is everything is going to be okay. And all you need is within you. So thank you for that question. Haley H. from Leo Cedarville, Indiana. Is Kinergy for everyone or just people who are dancers? No, this is for everyone. In fact, I created this specifically for non-dancers that felt intimidated to move their body. It's for dancers as well, but especially for people who feel the most disconnected to their body. And I'll dive into this a little bit right now, but if you think about it, back in the 50s, the Weeder brothers, which I did a film about, which again, all these little signs that have directed me to this point in my life. Anyway, it's wild. But I did this film about the Weeder brothers, and so I got to really understand and learn about the fitness world. And so back in the 50s and 60s, when the Weeder brothers were coming out, they basically created Mr. Olympia and bodybuilding and all of that. And what we realized that was like the age of physical health. And everybody started getting into like the notion that working out was actually good for you. Athlete's heart was not a real thing. In fact, when you work out, it's better for your heart. And so that was the age of physical health. I believe right now we are in the age of mental health. And that's why you're seeing so many people meditating and talking about mindfulness and mental health and anxiety and depression and, going to counseling and talking about their issues. And I don't even want to call them issues, but they're the things that are surfacing in them that they don't know how to either tolerate anymore or manage or or get rid of, And so that, I believe, we're so lucky we are in this age of mental health right now, where people are talking about these things that we have suppressed for so many years. And where I believe we're heading is the age of energetic health and energetic intelligence, and how we have so much energy within our body and outside of our body. I mean, we have, solar panels on our roof, and we use energy in the world in so many different ways, but why don't we actually think about the energy that's within us? And it's a real thing. It's physics. This is not some woo-woo hippity-dippity thing. This is real. So let's focus on our energy and how we can actually raise the vibration of us, so that we can actually step out into the world with a high vibration and be able to, again, make decisions from that place. So where the physical body is, and this is what I was saying about why I created this for non-dancers, is dancers have an awareness of their body because they dance, right? But they might not be aware of the visualization and stuff like that. So there's a new component there, and there's a new component to the energy side. So it's for dancers as well. But this was designed for non-dancers, for people who are disconnected really from their body, being like, this is mine. I feel my arms. I feel my skin. This is my head. This is my chest. This is my body. And in fact, I kind of even want to go back to saying non-dancers, because screw that term. Who came up with the fact that not everybody is a dancer? If you go back to looking at babies are in their high chair and they're dancing when they hear music, they're grooving, and they're just letting go and being free and just having the best time ever. And they're not worried if their parents think that they're doing it right or wrong or good or bad, or they're just dancing and feeling free within themselves. So somewhere along the line, somewhere along our journey, we decided, or society decided, or we got our feelings hurt, or we got self-conscious, and we decided we weren't dancers anymore, when that is not true. Being a dancer means that you feel self-expressed and free to move your body in exactly the way that you want to move it. Yes, there are like dancers that are professional dancers that train, and that's what they do, but dancing is for everybody. Dancing is, I love this line from the movie Jojo Rabbit, when they talk about what will you do when you're free, and they say dance. And I think that is like the chicken or the egg. It's like, do you dance to feel free, or are you free when you dance? So I think dancing is for everyone, first and foremost. And this method specifically was designed for people who do not feel like they're a dancer yet, connect to their body so that they can feel confident and self-expressed in how their body wants to be moved. And let me go on a little bit to that notion of what Kinergy stands for. So when I was designing the moves for this specific method, I went back to different modalities from around different cultures of the world. This is a global expression. And I went back in time and in history where, I took Aboriginal movements and tribal movements from Brazil, from Africa, from the Amazon, and the indigenous tribes, really taking moves that have been ancient and have been, coming from people and tribes and communities where they would dance for their crops, for rain to come. They would dance for fertility. They would dance for celebration of, a child reaching a certain age. Dance is the universal language of connection, of community, of culture. And so for what the moves are, and specifically how they are designed, it was very focused on the cultural aspect globally around the world, so that we can connect back to our ancestors and our tribes of where we came from. And that's part of where the moves came from. There's also Tai Chi, Qigong, there's martial arts, and different forms of more Eastern modalities that connect you more to your energy. And that is also encoded within the method. Let's answer another question, shall we? Okay, let's see. Dr. Swiss from Salt Lake City, Utah, my hometown. Could you explain how Kinergy is deeper than any temporary, exciting and lovely, but short-lived fad? Yes, that is an excellent question. So that's why I've been taking 2 years to work on this, because, you know, a lot of people in my, over the last few years have been like, you should do a dance method, you should do this, you should do that. And I really wanted to create something that will be here long after I'm gone, you know, like something that can actually help people transform their lives from the inside out. That is also our philosophy, is like, if you can transform your belief systems and your energy input and output, your relationships with those from the inside out, you really can shift your entire reality where anything is possible. And that is where I want to live, but where I think most people want to live, where they really truly believe anything is possible. And that's the kind of community we want to create. So the reason why I feel like this is deeper than a temporary fad is because it is intentional. We have created an intention for every single move, for the breath. I mean, the different layers and blueprints that we've created for just, you know, the 4 different elements is wild, and I can't wait to share more with you on that as we go along. But yeah, it's very intentional. This is long lasting. It's not something that you know, we're trying to tell people to lose weight, because that's not sustainable. The method is sustainable, and you can do it 100 times, and every single time it will feel different, and it will be different. It will be designed to reveal whatever it is that you're going through in your life at that time. And that's energetically, spiritually, emotionally, but then also your body. You know, my body really shifted a lot when I kind of supplemented. I still work out, I still do weight training, I still do yoga, I still do different things, but when I supplemented it more and I really created Kinergy as my foundation for my form of working out, my body shifted more into how my body is designed to look. And I'm healthy, I eat well, but my body it doesn't look like everybody else's now. It looks like me. And I think that is super important. That's why it's not a fad either. If you look at other workouts, and I'm not putting these down, these are great. And if that's the phase of life you're in, go for it. But a lot of these other workouts, they're designed so that everybody's body looks the same, and we're different. We all have a unique body shape. We have a unique body frequency. We have, it's designed for us. In fact, most workouts have been designed for everyone by men, and women experience a workout in a completely different way. Their body reacts differently. So a lot of the results and studies have been done by men for men and really have not been designed for women by women. And that's why, again, I feel like this method is for everybody. It's for men as well. But this one, you know, really creates and shapes your body how your body was designed to be shaped. Okay, so let's keep going. Let's do one more question. Kimberly C. from Irvine, California. Could you consider a modified support for us disabled in wheelchairs or stroke survivors to feel welcome to join in, please? 100,000%. In fact, we have so many ideas of how we can create this method and this philosophy for those that are not able, if they are in a wheelchair or if they have autism, whatever it may look like for them that may feel discouraging. We are working specifically to create something that is more adaptable for everyone. So stay tuned. Okay, so let's just do a little something. If you guys want, I would love to take you through a little visualization right now where we can kind of connect to the elements. And after that, I will talk to you about how Kinergy is connected to the elements. So if you're ready, just close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. One more deep inhale into your belly and out through your mouth. And I want you to visualize and experience the feeling of the energy that's around your body just dripping down from the crown of your head, melting down your body. Imagine it's like a texture, like it could be gooey, it could be light, it could be silky, but really activating your imagination of what this energy feels like. It could be like a cloak, it could be like a blanket, but imagining what is this texture and feel what that texture feels like and allow it to just melt off of your body and start dripping down off of your body. So behind your head, in front of your face, around your ears, through your throat, and your voice and your expression down through your chest, breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth, letting this drip, this sensation off of your shoulders and your arms, down through your heart and your chest and your solar plexus, wrapping around your rib cage through your back, down through your belly, around your hips, and really feeling that texture. And just letting it drip down your legs, over the top of your thighs and your hamstrings, over your knees, down through your shins, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth, and all the way down to your ankles and your feet. And on this next inhale, I want you to just breathe into the bottoms of your feet. And then on your exhale, shoot the air down into the center of the earth. One more inhale just to the bottoms of your feet. And exhale all the way down into the center of the earth. One more time, inhale. And exhale all the way down into the center of the earth. And as the air starts to travel and that energy from around your body starts to travel through the earth, I want you to visualize what those channels look like, what the pathways look like, what the texture is of the dirt or mud or sand, if there are roots growing out, if there are little insects crawling around, and just really imagine going down deep into the earth. And as you create those tunnels and those pathways, take another deep inhale just to the bottoms of your feet and imagine roots coming out of your feet and going through those pathways. And whether you're from Omaha, Nebraska, or from Sioux City, or from Salt Lake City, or Indiana, I want those roots to start spreading underneath your house right now. And I want you to imagine those roots going underneath the ground and traveling to your friend's house, to your family's house, to maybe the hospitals where our caretakers are right now, serving humanity. And as you send those roots, I want you to go across the United States, if you're in the United States, or wherever you are in your country. I want you to spread those roots around, and then go even further and wrapping around the entire world, connecting to all the different roots that are also spreading around the world right now. Breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. Really shooting those roots even deeper. How fast is the pace? Is it slow? Has it got resistance in it? Is it fast? Is it just like the speed of light? Really taking in every nuance and every sense that you can. And as they start to spread, I want you now to go back, but from all the way around the world, and a different way back in to where those roots started. And I want you to bring those roots all the way up through that same pathway, up into your feet, up through your legs, up through your belly, into your rib cage, all the way up into your chest. Breathing in and feeling all of that connection that started with you, that connected to your family and your friends, and then connected to people that you didn't even know, and allowing all of that beautiful energy of self, others, and the world to come into your heart and feel that love and feel that connection. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes, and I'll talk to you a little bit about why the elements are so important. So, have you ever heard of the notion, like, I need to go get out into nature? When I'm in nature, I feel my best self. When I can lay on the ground in the grass and feel the earth below me, you know, you feel more grounded, you feel more connected to what's true and what's natural. So what I believe is we don't have to go outside of ourselves to connect to nature. It adds, and if you can go out, absolutely. But when you don't have that option, then breathing the elements within us, we are nature by nature. If you think about it, we are made up of the elements, mainly water. But we have energy, which represents our fire. We breathe, which represents our air. You know, our physical body is this matter that is made up of the cells and life that is the earth. And so when we can connect to the natural elements that are so true to who we are, we don't have to go outside of ourselves for anything. It just helps us reconnect back to what is true and certain. And that's why we use the elements. I'm not going to go too far into this because there's layers, and we want to be able to give you bite-sized information so it's not too much. But we also really connect to Gaia, to the female energy, which is within the earth. And that is a big part of what this method is about. Whether you're a man or a woman, or however you identify, we all have masculine and feminine energy within us. And I can tell you, and the world can tell you, that has been out of balance. And so we are going to be bringing more of this female energy up into us so that we can feel more whole and more connected to trusting that energy within us, which we have really let go and suppressed for a long time, very, very many years. So that is one part. I'm going to look at my book if there's anything else I want to talk about. I'll talk about my transformation and how this all came about. So my whole life I've been a dancer and a performer, and I've always been a pretty tough cookie. I've known what I wanted. I'm easily someone who can manifest their dreams, and I'm positive by nature. And there was a period in my life where it's probably adolescent ages when you're really turning into a teenager and figuring out who you are, and starting to build up these like belief systems and conditioning and survival tactics for you to survive in the world around you. This is when people are telling you certain things and you believe them, and you now feel insecurities, and that's why we're teenagers. We're going through this really transitional period in life that's so important. So during that period of my life, I was going through a lot of interesting dynamics that were causing me anxiety and depression, and I had a really hard time. And what I realized was, thank God I was dancing. Thank God I had, friends and a good support system around me that I could move my body and feel expressed. If I didn't have my dancing, which I believe really has been my superpower my whole life, if I didn't have that dancing in my life, I don't know if I ever would have either come out of that, because I would have built more survival tactics, more layering to protect myself from being hurt, that I didn't have the energy. If I didn't have the energy flow from me moving my body and expressing myself, I would be a very different person than I am today. And so I am so grateful that I had dance as a child and as a kid. But I will tell you that I built up a whole hell of a lot of survival tactics. And those survival tactics were really to keep me safe, to prove myself, and basically do this to anybody who ever thought that I would not make it without them, who told me I couldn't become, or become the person that I wanted to become, follow the dreams that I had dreamt for myself. And so I built up this wall that we all do, by the way. And hey, it's necessary. We do it. Hopefully it won't be as necessary, and we can teach our kids this earlier so that they, can have these tools beforehand. But as I was going along, I got to Hollywood, and I was just on a fast track of I'm gonna become an actor, I'm gonna become a singer, I'm gonna dance, I'm gonna do all these things. And I was very fortunate. Like I said, I could manifest, and things started happening. And I won my first 2 seasons of Dancing with the Stars, and back to back, and then I got a record deal, and I was in Nashville singing and on tour with Brad Paisley and Blake Shelton and George Strait, and I was doing all these things, and I was doing movies with Tom Cruise and Mary J. Blige and Josh Duhamel, and doing all these incredible things that I had dreamed so long about doing. And I definitely was grateful for them, but I didn't understand and didn't feel connected to the fulfillment. It was just, what's next, what's next, what's next. And during that time of feeling like I just had to keep going, I was on a hamster wheel, and if I got off, then my whole life would fall apart. I ended up going to a Tony Robbins seminar when I was 25. And when I went, I realized this is the cognitive side. So I had been using my body. This is where Kinergy comes in. So I'd been using my body for so many years to express myself, but I didn't understand the mindset behind it. So now I go to Tony Robbins, and I have all this like cognitive awareness of why I was trying to prove myself and become successful and have these dreams for this adoration and this validation that I am worthy and that I am loved and that I am accepted. And as I was realizing all of that awareness, that my intention, my encoded energy behind why I was becoming who I was becoming was because I wanted to be accepted and loved, not because it came from a place of pure like connection of like, this is what I'm meant to do. It was in there for sure, but it was layered behind this need to succeed and to be perfect and to get everybody's love and attention and adoration. And so when I realized that, I didn't want to live my life, the rest of my life that way, with this anxiety of like, if I don't get every single person's love and affection, then it's not enough. And so as I continued to do that, I started unraveling all of these layers and conditioning and survival tactics of pushing forward. And it was a really scary time because I lost my purpose, because my purpose was being fulfilled from the need for everyone else's approval. So as I was unraveling all this, I had to really go deep into like, what is my purpose? And during that time, you know, your whole life up until you're 30, I feel like, is this time to find out who you are. And when I realized that, I realized, wow, I've taken this time to really dive in and delayer all the things of who I thought I should be to who I am, and that is enough. And once I fell deeply in love with myself again, which I hadn't really felt in many, many years. I thought I did, but really that deep, deep love, I realized, wow, all I want to do is contribute this to the world. And I realized that was the body, which was moving my body and moving that energy so I could feel expressed and take that stuck energy so it didn't cause more anxiety and pain within my vessel that's holding my spirit and my soul. And then the cognitive, the therapy, you know, people can go and do talk therapy and it's amazing and be able to have all this awareness. But then what is this next layer? And that goes back to this energetic health. And that is where I believe when you have the awareness and the intention that you put behind everything, and you're able to connect that to your body, you actually store so much information in your body that you want to be storing healthy thoughts, healthy beliefs. So moving your body and having these healthy thoughts and beliefs are going to change that. Then when you get into the energy side of things, and this is where it gets a little bit more conceptual because it's not a tangible thing, that's when you really can clear and open up pathways for what is possible, because you've already done the healing of the mind and the body connection, and you're able to now step into what is possible, and that's that energetic intelligence that we're talking about here. So once that all happened, I realized that this is the missing piece to this wellness, like of working out and therapy. It's like putting those things together and then connecting the energy and the encoded energy behind it. And that is when I realized, wow, like my whole life leading up to this point has been about me finding myself. And now I want to contribute that to the world. I feel like the first half of your life is about that. Like, who am I? It's much more egocentric of like figuring out you, and then the next part of your life is how you can give, how you can contribute to the world. So that is me contributing to the world, and what I want Kinergy to be is a community of people that feel safe to. They feel safe, they feel seen, they feel connected to a tribe, a family where they can change, they can shift, they can transform. And you know what? You can transform as many times as you need for you to feel happy and for you to feel like you're progressing and moving forward in life and your pursuit of happiness. So, you know, I've had my transformation, you know, the big one in, 2013, and then I had a really big one in 2017, and I'm going through one right now. And it's like, life is ever evolving and changing. So, to continue the transformation is necessary. And Kinergy is a community where not just you guys being able to receive it, but even, our guides and our internal team. Like, it's a place where we come in every day for transformation, knowing that we're shifting the way we do business, and we don't have to do it an old way. We can do it this new way, with intention and encoded energy of the pursuit of happiness. So that is the community that we're building here in Kinergy, is a safe environment for people to come and transform and to shift their old belief systems with their body, with their mindset, and step into this beautiful possibility of what's already been within you. You just needed to delayer all the bullshit that like we put on ourselves. Excuse my French. So with that, that is what Kinergy is all about. And we want to invite you to join our community, where we want to give tools and experiences for people to do this internal work in a way that's not intimidating, in a way that is accessible, that is not hard physically, but it definitely requires you to play full out and go there, and know that you are supported and you're held, and that you are seen and loved, and that we are here for you constantly, knowing that we're all in this together. So that is that. I should tell you how we got our name too. So Kinergy, kin stands for family, for tribe, for community. Kinder in German, it actually represents like child, kindergarten, where it comes from, but child, and that childlike imagination. Kinetic or kinesthetic is all about movement, and then of course energy. So when you combine all of those things, that's what Kinergy is, and that's how we created the name. I just want to go back a little bit to what I was saying earlier about babies dancing in their high chair. It's like, we were born to move, we were born to be expressed, we were born to be free. And somewhere along the line, we said, we're not dancers, or we are not supposed to be free because we're going to get in trouble if we react that way, or if we feel like we did something wrong and we get punished for it from someone else, or now we feel like we can't do that. So yeah, there were certain things that, our parents did their best, and we love them for all of who they are, but we need to now rediscover, almost delayer, and come back to who we are and make those choices for us, unplug from all of the pressures that the world has put on, the other people have put on, and that we have put on ourselves. So that is really, we're just giving you a process, whether it's through this method, through the movement, or the philosophy, through education and curriculum and programming. But we want to give you these tools so that you can make your choices from who you are and the truth of who you are, not because someone told you or you were raised a certain way, and not to have all that guilt. So, and shame. And there is so much more of the philosophy, and I could go on forever, but I've already been on here for 50 minutes, and we're just having a conversation. But, when we actually reveal more of the curriculum and the programming and the method, you guys are going to really have a broken down experience of how to go inward, how to transform in a safe and comfortable way where you feel seen and free. So that is what Kinergy is, to reconnect to self, to relate to others, and then experience the world. So the way we're going to move forward in this interesting time, I want to be able to offer you guys content so that you can feel connected again to yourself during this time, and let that tea kettle boil and let that emotion come out. This is the healthiest thing for the world right now, is all of the stuff that we have suppressed for so long and we've just distracted ourselves with by not letting up and come up. Now is the time for this all to come to the surface, and we want to give you tools so that you can be able to integrate that and have that process flow through you without being scared. So with that being said, I'm excited to say that we're going to do one more 15-minute class this Friday. So if you guys come actually to Kinergy's profile, we're going to be doing the class then on that profile at 11 a.m. again. So go to Kinergy and their profile there, that's ours. Go to our Kinergy Instagram page, and at 11 a.m. I'll be doing another live stream 15-minute class. And I realized that the class that I put on my feed didn't have the entire thing at the end, so we're going to make sure that we have the full thing. And that way you guys can continue to watch it and redo it as many times as you want. And then we have a whole schedule of how we're going to introduce the different elements, the different breathing, the different visualization patterns. We're going to break each one of those down every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And they won't be an hour long. Maybe they will. But we are going to continue to educate you guys on the philosophy of Kinergy. And oh my God, I am so excited because, like I said, I could only get like one little tiny little bit of what Kinergy is in almost an hour. But just, this really is, this today was really about just like connecting and letting you know that I'm vulnerable. What you see is what you get. I believe that with vulnerability comes strength and truth. And that is the most beautiful thing that you could ever show up with, is absolute vulnerability in like being naked in who you are, and that you don't need anybody else to accept it. It's just that you accept and fall in love with you. And when that happens, you radiate so strong and so bright that people want to know what you did because they want to feel that way. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to just pay it forward and pass it on and change the world. We're going to create a movement with movement. Okay. I love you guys so much, and thank you guys for sticking this out. This was quite a long live session, but I adore you. I love you, and I can't wait to see you this Friday on Kinergy, and let's do this thing. All right. Love you guys.